Welcome to r/AskReddit with the Rosy Pear. Today we are asking the question, non-Americans of Reddit, what is an American thing that you have always wanted to try? Now, as an American, I can very poorly speak behalf of Americans and say a lot of these things, I've wanted to try them myself. A lot of these things I've never done. And they seem like a lot of fun. They seem like things that, people talk about them online and you think, is that actually a thing? And then, multiple people bring it up. It's like the house hippos in Canada. No one ever talks about them, or everybody talks about them, but no one knows where they came from or anything about them. They're just there. And no one wants to mention how they became to be a thing. They're just there. But before I get too far ahead of myself, I'd like to remind you guys to like if you absolutely like the video, comment down below if you have any answers to this question, if you have any suggestions on other things that I can do, and go ahead and subscribe if you absolutely love my videos, because I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm not doing the best at that, so go ahead and share the video around so more people know this is going on. Anyway, guys, enough of my rambling. Let's get on to it. Total Ad 6225 says they want to visit a diner like in the movies. In the middle of the night, it's raining, just a few people there with great music from a jukebox. Dude, I cannot tell you how many times I have wanted to do something like this. There's a diner in Boise, or there was a diner in Boise called Rocky's Diner or something like that. Oh my god, my dad took me there, me and my sisters there once when we were younger. It was the greatest experience. They had a Elvis impersonator actually singing Elvis songs. It was the greatest. He got to dance with one of my sisters. She was totally embarrassed. It was the greatest night for everybody. It was so much fun. It made me sad when they closed down during COVID, and I don't even know if they're open anymore. Oh, if I have anybody from Boise who knows, let me know, because I totally miss that place. God, it was an amazing diner. I loved it so much. In Fires Emo says they want to ride a yellow school bus, even if I'm too old. Growing up, I always loved seeing them on TV. Dude, riding those buses sucked. You always had that one seat that squeaked whenever you sat down. And there was the seats in the back that felt like you were jumping every time you went over a bump or something. God, I hated those seats. And there was always that one kid who stuck their gum to the back of the seat or the bottom of the seat or under the seat. And everybody around you absolutely hated you. The fact that you were on the bus made them absolutely hate you, to the point where people would purposefully put their feet up on the seat so that you could not sit next to them. And you had no choice but to sit on the absolute very edge of the seat so that you could actually sit down, because the bus driver's not moving until you sit down. But don't worry, Fire Emo, you can actually apply to be a school bus aide, which is an adult that rides on the school bus with everybody else who is mostly in charge of the special needs kids or any issues that might happen on the bus, or even just an administrator who sits down with everybody just to make sure that the bus driver isn't actively trying to kill the kids. My dad used to drive school bus when my brother was in high school. My dad used to tell all the greatest stories when I was younger. He always told the best stories from his old jobs. I might talk about them one day, but at the same time, I feel like that might dox my dad, because a lot of people might remember that. But at the same time, they're rather vague. I'll find a way to make the stories vague if anybody wants to hear them. Comment down below if you want to hear stories about my amazing dad's amazing jobs. This answer is extremely vague and wholesome. It just says national parks. And it makes me wonder where you live where you don't have some sort of national park. Are you talking about a national park like they have in the West Coast, where it's just a bunch of campgrounds inside the forest, or just a bunch of trees? Or maybe they mean Yellowstone National Forest. Anything like that. They're just so much fun. I love going camping in a national park and a national forest and driving through them all the time. Oh my god, it makes you feel like you're in a horror movie when you're going through at night, especially at night. And in the winter, oh geez, it's like you're looking everywhere for like a Slender Man or something. I was about to say something else, but I listened to the Apaches when they say don't say the name. Mnemonic22 says, a friend of mine from Indonesia said, the food chewer in the sink. Garbage disposal. Dude, garbage disposals are like so American. There's nothing more American than a garbage disposal. It's like, I have all this food left and I don't want to like put it in Tupperware and into the fridge. And if I just throw it in the trash, it's going to make the trash stink. Why don't you put it in the food chewer in the sink? Yeah, then it won't smell for like the first week. And then you get this weird smell radiating from your sink and you're just like, ugh, what is that? And you either got to go the green route and just shove a bunch of orange peels down the garbage disposal so it stops smelling so bad, or you just put a bunch of soap and water down the garbage disposal, or Drano, or even one of those little balls of citrusy smelling stuff. You just drop it in there and run the garbage disposal for a few minutes and all of a sudden the whole kitchen smells like you've cleaned thoroughly. Oh, that's an American invention if I ever heard of one. Garbage disposal. You never really think about this kind of stuff in terms of nobody else has it. Like, everybody has a garbage disposal. It's like, no, they don't. Like, my parents don't even have a garbage disposal, and they live like 30 minutes away from me. Their house is just really old, though. That makes more sense than them just not having a garbage disposal. Mega Joltic is actually going full American meme. Apple pie made by white-haired grandma placed near a window. Oh, that's so American. There's nothing more American cartoon than somebody putting a pie in the windowsill to cool. Does anyone do that anymore? Does anyone have like my grandmother had cooking racks, or just wire racks that she put on the counter, and she just put stuff on there to cool off. My mother, my mom didn't have cooking racks when we moved, so I would put kitchen towels over the dog crates, like the wired dog kennels, and I just put stuff up there to cool down. And every time she put the dogs in there, I'd have to quickly remove it, or else the dogs would try to pull the towel through the grate so that they would try to get to the food. It sucked, but it was just like perfect makeshift action. Does anyone do that? Does anyone have the ability to put their pie in the windowsill to cool off? I've never seen that anywhere except cartoons. That's so weird. Toby Brent says that they're Australian. A rail trip from California to Chicago, or, perhaps if it exists, down the East Coast from New York to Savannah. And a comment to this comment says that does actually exist. I would want to know who would want to travel from California and go all the way to Chicago. But at the same time, you could see like a majority of what America looks like from California to Chicago. Because California looks like the East Coast sometimes. It's like big cities, and then all of a sudden you get closer to the Sierras and it's like snowy mountain or mountainous range. And it's just a ton of mountains and trees and green and beautiful, and then you get to like the wastelands of Middle America where it's just like dead flat land and it's nothing. But from California to Chicago, that might actually show you like a little bit of everything, like trees, desert, city, small town. It's like there's so much you can see between those. And then there's New York to Savannah. You're seeing nothing but just cities and maybe some like empty field farmlands. And it's just, oh wow. It's just, I've never ridden on a train before. I've always wanted to ride a train. Just something as simple as riding on a train just sounds like so much fun to me. A lot of these are so much fun. I want to try them. I feel like I'm missing out on like everything that there is that people outside of America are just fantasizing about. Like something as simple as riding a train from one state to another. That sounds like so much fun though. Fenrir Sulfur 94 says they want to try deep fried foods at the state fair. I'm from Scotland and we love to deep fry everything. I want to know if it's just as good or better. Dude, I don't know what you guys fry your stuff in, but you have not lived till you tried American fried food. Then again, you might die if you try American fried food. Like, to quote Craig Ferguson, when the flavor's gone in Scotland, the food is ready. So, how do you know if your food is even good when you deep fry it and there's no flavor? I'm kidding. Oh, it's terrible. And Craig Ferguson is not the spokesman for Scottish people, but he's like the only Scottish person that I can think of that isn't from like a TV show or a movie or something where it's like a period piece from like the 1800s or something. It's just like American food and any other food really is just, it's all different. Like if you tried a taco from Taco Bell in America and then you try a taco from, let's say, Taco Bell in let's go with the UK. It probably tastes so different because, to go with the meme, UK food has absolutely no flavor. UK food is bad. The memes. It's so funny. Ha ha. So hilarious. But I still feel like food tastes different in different countries and continents and stuff than it would in America because we all have different ways of cooking it. Like, everyone has a different way of cooking one thing. I asked my grandmother for a carrot cake recipe once, and it had, like, all the normal stuff, flour, sugar, butter, blah, 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 blah. And then it had, like, just one random ingredient. And I can't even remember what it was. It was so long ago that she gave me this recipe. I should probably write stuff down from now on. And I saw this recipe for carrot cake from, like, I don't even know where it was. Maybe it was Wisconsin or something. I don't know. But it was like all the standard stuff and then one totally random ingredient that you wouldn't think to add. Like, I think it was sour cream. Maybe. Maybe that was for the frosting. Sour cream frosting. But it's like everyone makes things differently everywhere. And even inside America, everything is different. But outside America, food is got to be more different than anywhere else. I've only ever been to America, so I can only say that I know what American food is like, but I can't say I know what actual Chinese food is like. I've had American Chinese, I've had American Mexican, I've never had Chinese made by actual Chinese people in China who know how to cook like that. Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble for that statement, but it's just an experience, and you should totally try it. You have not lived or died until you've had American fried food. Spiral to Nowhere wants to have a proper tailgate before a ball game, the kind where there's ribs and stuff. Dude, American football tailgating is the strangest thing ever. Like, any sort of tailgating is confusing to me. Like, you grab your travel-sized barbecuer, and you make burgers and dogs, and everybody's drinking beer and going nuts. There's one dude with his shirt off who's got his team colors painted all over his body, and your first thought is, man, that dude's got school spirit. And your second thought is, man, that guy is gonna burn under that paint. Because I'm sorry, body paint is not a good barrier for the sun. You're gonna get sunburned seriously bad. And then there's that group of people that have like one letter of their team name painted on their chest. And then there's always that one dude that sits in the wrong spot, so everybody's spelled wrong. Oh my god. American football fans are just insane. American fans in general are insane. Like, oh my god, I heard about YouTubers who had to have security, like, usher them out of the theater because they were causing a riot. And that's just hilarious to me. Fans of anything in America will cause a goddamn riot no matter where they are because they love things so much they're going to burn stuff down. It's like, dude, calm down. Weed is legal in most places. Take a puff before you go inside. Like, seriously. I do not condone drug use if you are underage or outside of legal limits. GMT Fogey wants to be able to start a whole new life elsewhere without having to leave my country and going through the arduous immigration process. You can tell how hard it is for me to say that word. Arduous. Arduous. That's bad. arduous immigration process. That's a hard word for me to say. But yeah, it is nice to be able to go from one state to another without having to be stopped at the border and interrogated. Who is lost just wants one of the hot dogs from those little street cart things. Dude, that sounds like a little haze when you're in like New York or the East Coast, like anywhere along the East Coast. You can find one, you eat it, you eat the whole thing, and all of a sudden, boom, you're a New Yorker. You got the New Yorker down. You got the hot dog from the street vendor. You're a New Yorker now. Where the hell did that come from? But yeah, I wanted to try a hot dog from a street vendor. It just seems so random and weird, but at the same time, I watch way too much TV, so I expect one of the hot dogs to suddenly turn into a finger. I watch too much TV. There were so many more amazing comments to this question. I'm going to link the question down below. If you have any additions you want to go for, go ahead and comment them down below, or go to the post and comment them, because things like this deserve more traction. More traffic is what I'm saying, not traction. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for letting me read this to you. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like, because I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Go ahead and subscribe and share the video around, and comment down below if you have an American thing you want to try that you've heard about. Even if you are an American, just something you want to try out as an American, or something that you want to do outside of America. Just like, comment, subscribe, and share the video and all the other fun stuff, because I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and if I keep putting out videos, maybe people will notice me, and maybe I'll get to have fun. So like, comment, and subscribe. How many times can I say it? Thank you so much, guys. Bye!